Came into this place where the showers were, and I was waiting. I said again, we do it to confession, and I said I'm going now to be guest. And suddenly water came down. And I opened my mouth with the hot water. I was drinking and drinking and drinking all the time, the water, because it was a real shower. And this was Majdanek. Majdanek, there was no work, actually, nothing to do, but they have to torture. They used to take us out every day, out of the barracks, out of the bunks, and there was a pile of stones, big pile of stones, and everybody has to pick up some stones with the hand and carry them a kilometer, 2 kilometers, till you fell, and if you fell, he hit you immediately with a stick. Yeah, this was a whole day, going and carrying. The next day they brought us into this pile, and we had to carry them back. And so it was going on for 2.5 weeks, and every day we had to see, but the appeal in the morning, they used to hang people. Just had a how to say, hanging place. They used to gallows. They used to hang people like this. For what reason, I don't know even. Maybe somebody was trying to escape, or somebody was maybe he spit in the face of any Nazi, this face.
Did they have the hangings there to show the Jews in the concentration camp, don't try to revolt?
Don't try anything to do. Don't try to escape. They said they made a speech immediately when we came there. Don't try to escape because everything is electrified and everything.
Were there many attempts at escapes?
Probably because when they came to the wires, they were electrified really. But by other kinds of sins, what somebody did, so they hanged them. Instead they said a bullet is too expensive.
And too quick for them.
Good. So they hanged them. We have to sit and stand and waiting, not standing and waiting. We have been, some day we didn't go out. What was the reason? I went to the fences. I saw the coming prisoners from Russia to be killed. The Jews from Russia with their packs, with their children, with this. And therefore we couldn't go outside the camp. So we used to be inside and standing. We had not allowed to be standing under the sun. There was a sun burning. We had swollen faces from the sun. So we couldn't see eyes anymore because everybody had the
Was there any kind of semblance of a community life there? Religious life in the concentration camps?
In this camp, there was nothing. That everybody who wanted to pray, he was praying, but whatever he remembered by heart. But there was, we have been. I saw the first time I saw it was one of the greatest speakers, orators, Dr. Schipper, a Zionist, one of the greatest. And when I came to the Majdanek, first I saw him how he's laying on the ground, licking some soup was spilled out from a barrel. So he was licking with Dr. Schipper.
The great Zionist.
The great Zionist, the great leader. He was licking in Majdanek with the tongue, the soup. So I started to cry, God, what happened to a man? He became like an animal.
Such a great man.
One great man, and another thing suddenly I saw the fences, people hanging with the legs. And hanging with the legs, with the head down, like this, and yelling and crying. Nobody was dead. After a few hours ago.
Psychologically, what were people thinking through all this?
We didn't think. First of all, from 39 till 43, they developed some kind of an attitude that we stopped thinking. We didn't even we followed instructions completely, whatever they said. Do. We did immediately, because if not, you're getting killed. In Majdanek, I was 2.5 weeks. One day, a group of Nazis came and they said they're going to take some people out to work, because in Majdanek, if you have been sick or something, there was a crematorium, and so they had a line of people, and they looked everybody over like a sheep, if he's good, still good to work or not. And they took me out also to they sent out, I was good to work, actually. And they took me out and sent us to a camp, concentration camp called Skajiska. There was an ammunition factory. Before when we have been in Majdanek, we have been with pajamas. But since we went going to work in a factory, so everybody got a suit. They give us a suit with shoes. No shoes, but KL, it's called...
sandals.
Not sandals, wooden clogs like this, and a suit. I came to Skajisk. First Shalom Aleichem, I got, people came over, they were yellow, completely yellow, and they didn't talk like humans anymore. Like this, Shalom Aleichem, how are you, where from are you? Like this. I asked them, how long are you here? He said, I'm here 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like this. We came healthy like you, but we are working by the ammunition, but the trotil, it's called trotil, kind of a powder. And this eats up our lungs and eats up our hearts, and we are getting, the skin now is yellow because we work with this, the hair very reddish yellow. Because before the war, and they used to work with special gas masks, and these people used to fill up these grenades, the bombs, with this is cooked, the gases, ate them up. Then I said, here I am in a place where I'm not going to be able to live. So I asked for volunteers to go to bring the soup from the kitchen. Kitchen was far away. So I said, I have to live, I have to survive, I have to do something to tell them what's going on. I have to survive. Because of this, I want to tell the whole world should know what's going on. So I said, I'm going to bring the soup. I went over to this kitchen, the Pollock saw the soup. He said, Jew, you're not going to live too long here. What do you need the suit? I said, so what will I have to give you the soup? He said, if you will come every day to bring the soup I will give you an extra portion of soup. And I will bring you something to put on instead of the soup. He brought me some schmattes, and the next day, and I gave him the soup. It's for 2 months. Every day I volunteered to go to bring the soup, and I brought myself a special can of soup. This way, I was there. Many people died. They brought other people because they had enough.
You got yellow from the munitions?
Say again, I had a very just benisse. And when they appointed people to work, and they sent people to this ammunition, but they need also people to take out the grenades from the factory, and the empty to bring in the empty and take out the full one. So they appointed me to the wagon. So I had a little wagon to bring in the empty and take out. So I was not yellow, but it was still the air was filled up with the bitterness of the trotil of this powder, and for 14 months I was in this camp of Skajisko, and tens of thousands of people died in this camp until the Russians came close to Lublin, and they were afraid they shall not go over to catch this place. They took us out from, suddenly we heard that they're going to evacuate the whole camp. And they took us, also we didn't believe that there will be some kind of, we believed that they're going to kill us again. They took us to another camp called Częstochow. There was a steel factory by train.
By train?
By train, they took us out. And also I asked the people there in Skajiska, a German who was every day taking us, are you going to kill us?
Yeah.
He said, you will see. You will see. He didn't answer straight. You will see.
What did you feel at that time?
Huh?
What did you feel at that time?
I felt like an animal.
Did you ever, you were a very Orthodox person before the war, and you still are now, but during that time, did you ever lose your faith?
Many times I was depressed, many times I was thinking about this, but at the same time I was fighting inside, and I came to the conclusion that if there is no God, there are no people. It must be a God, there must be something, because if not, how could people do such a thing? I believed in how could people do such a thing? It's only because God wanted to do, and we do not understand God. But without God, it's not possible to understand how human beings, educated people, could do such a thing. And therefore, I had a